Hello, this is Carlos from the Church of Christ channel. Please subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about America has a bullying problem, part number 2. Watch this clip and I'll come right back.
It's a brutal beatdown caught on camera. And this morning we're hearing from the man at the receiving end of that thrashing. A man many are calling a hero.
Everything kind of escalated very quickly, and all of a sudden I was in the middle of a melee.
43-year-old Wen Jones is a former Marine and father of 2. His instinct to protect kicking into overdrive when he stumbled upon 3 men bullying 14-year-old Zion Wright on Florida's Juneau Beach back in May.
It was not a situation I could just walk past.
Wright's own father says he tried to help.
I see that these guys was not backing down, and I literally had to keep them at bay. And then I looked up and here was Mr. Jones.
Before he knew it, Jones was taking the brunt of the attack and fell unconscious. Once police showed up, the suspects, Eric Dieter, Tyler Carswell, and Cody Roon, fled the scene. As for Jones, he was sent to the hospital with a broken eye bone and had to get multiple stitches across his face. But this morning he says it's all in the line of duty, moral duty, and says he'd do it again.
Doing the right thing is always the right thing.
He deserved a Purple Heart. If he didn't receive a Purple Heart when he was in the military serving, he deserved one now, because he's a true Samaritan.
Now I chose this clip because this reminded me of the parable of the Good Samaritan. In Luke chapter 10, starting in verses 25, on one occasion an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he asked, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" "What is written in the law?" he replied. "How do you read it?" He answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and to love your neighbor as yourself." And that's a common theme when we talk about bullying. But that's what we will see in this parable with the Samaritan. Continuing reading, "You have answered correctly." Jesus replied, "Do this and you will live." But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, "Who is my neighbor?" In reply, Jesus said a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So to a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, pass by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he was traveling, came where the man is. He saw him, and he took pity on him. Continuing reading, he went to him and bandaged his wound, pouring oil and wine. And then he put the man on his donkey, brought him to an inn, took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. "Look after him, and when I return, I'll reimburse you for any extra expense you may have." Which of these 3 do you think to the neighbor was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robber? All right. The expert in the law replied, "The one who had mercy on him." Jesus said, go and do this likewise. So when we look at this, we don't want to be like the priest or the Levite who was supposed to be religious men, but they didn't want to be unclean, We want to be like the Samaritan. And this is how bullying will stop in America. We have to have people like the man in the clip who stood and, took care of people that really needed it. And that's what's lacking, unfortunately, in America.